Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to talk about what happens when a market leader, a company that seems totally untouchable, suddenly finds its entire kingdom under siege.
I mean, just imagine that for a second. What if almost all of your revenue was at risk practically overnight? Well, this isn't some hypothetical business school case study. It is the exact situation facing Dreamfolks, the undisputed king of airport lounge access in India.
So let's dive in. How did they get here? And more importantly, what's their game plan to get out of it? Their story is just a fascinating look at conflict, adaptation, and some really high-stakes strategy.
Okay, first things first, let's get a handle on just how big a deal Dreamfolks has been. You know, it's really hard to overstate how completely they've owned the airport lounge scene in India.
100%. That's their coverage across every single airport lounge in the country. Think about that. They weren't just a player in the industry. For years, they pretty much were the industry. They basically pioneered this whole idea of making a luxury service accessible to tons of travelers.
And yeah, this didn't happen by accident. Over the last decade, they carefully, methodically built this empire. They turned what was once a premium perk into something millions of people could get, all through these really smart partnerships with banks and credit card companies. But you know how it goes in business. Dominance can be a really fragile thing. And for Dreamfolks, a major new threat has popped up from a place they probably never expected.
So the challenge wasn't some flashy new startup with a cool app. Nope, it was something way more fundamental. Management even hinted at it on a recent earnings call, saying the problem was, and I quote, the real estate owner who is actually trying to get into this business right now.
So who's this mysterious real estate owner? Well, it's the airport operators themselves. Yeah, the very same people who own the airports, the partners Dreamfolks needed to operate are now jumping in to become direct competitors. That's a huge conflict of interest.
And this isn't some far-off problem on the horizon. It's happening right now. Two of their major banking clients have already started shifting their business away. Management admits other banks are feeling the pressure to do the same. The whole core of their business is suddenly looking shaky.
To really get the scale of this problem, you've got to follow the money. So let's do a quick financial health check and see what the numbers tell us. Now, at first glance, everything looks pretty rosy. Their latest quarterly results, they show some really solid year-on-year growth. Revenue's up, profits are up. On the surface, you'd think this is a business that's absolutely crushing it. But, and this is a big but, those headline numbers are hiding a really critical weakness. The real story isn't about how much money they're making, it's about how they're making it. And here it is. This is the heart of the whole problem. A massive 93% of all their revenue comes from one place: lounge services. The very business that's now under direct attack from the airport operators. This isn't just a dependency, folks. This is a full-blown existential risk.
Now, if we dig a little deeper, we can see their financial health is actually pretty solid right now. Their margins are healthy, their net worth is growing. And that's good news, because it means they have a war chest to fight back. But it also just highlights how much they stand to lose if that massive 93% revenue stream starts to dry up.
So what do you do when your main line of business is under direct fire? Well, you don't just sit there. Dreamfolks has put together a whole new strategic blueprint for survival and, they hope, for future growth.
Management has laid out a really clear three-part plan, and it all boils down to one critical goal: breaking the company's dangerous dependency on that one single service.
Part 1 is all about diversification. They're quickly adding a whole suite of new lifestyle services. We're talking golf, spa packages, coffee at the mall, even access to exclusive social clubs. The goal is to become an everyday utility for their customers, not just a once-in-a-while travel perk.
Step 2 is about changing who they sell to. Instead of putting all their eggs in the banking basket, they're aggressively going after a more diverse client list, with a huge push to sign up new corporate clients.
And what's their secret weapon in all this? It's their technology. They have this flexible, in-house platform that lets clients mix and match all these different services into custom bundles. This is a really big deal, because it makes them super agile and hard to copy, especially for the slower-moving airport operators.
So what does this all add up to? Well, when you put all the pieces together, you realize this is so much more than just a simple pivot. This is a fundamental reinvention of the company's entire identity.
They are right in the middle of a massive, high-stakes transformation. They're trying to evolve from being a dominant single-product company into a broad, integrated platform for all things travel and lifestyle.
And you can really hear this ambition in the words of their chairperson. She says they're not just enabling travel anymore, they're reshaping how people experience well-being and leisure. That's a vision that goes way, way beyond the airport terminal.
And they're not planning to do it all on their own. They're signaling that they're on the hunt for acquisitions and partnerships. They're basically looking to buy their way into this new future and speed up the whole process.
So that leaves us with the big question. Dreamfolks is betting everything on a future that exists far beyond the airport lounges. But will travelers, and more importantly, will investors buy into this new dream? It's a huge gamble, as a once dominant king is now being forced to build a brand new kingdom from the ground up.